3, -4, 5 squared, root 2. These are all real numbers we see every day. Literally, they're called real numbers. Why? Because we can interact with them. I can have 3 things, take 4 things away. I can have a square with size 5 or a square with an area of 2. But what if I had a square with negative area? That means I need a number that when squared is negative. But that seems impossible. Any number squared is positive, right? Welcome to the world of imaginary numbers. A concept developed by Raphael Bombelli in 1572 after he was trying to solve a cubic equation and encountered this ugly beast. He decided to separate it into a real number and the square root of -1, and by doing this he actually solved the problem. Even so, this number seemingly couldn't exist in the real world. It was so weird that Euler, one of the greatest mathematicians of all time, called these numbers imaginary, using I to symbolize the square root of -1. But how can we even visualize this? Let's start with a number line of real numbers and a separate one with imaginary numbers. Let's take a number, say 1, and multiply it by I. We get, well, I. If we do it again, we get I squared, which is -1. Do it again to get -I, and one final time to get back to 1. Weirdly enough, it loops back around. Hey, you know another thing that loops around? Circles! So how about we combine the lines into something like this, and instead of multiplying by I, we just rotate a point around the center. This makes it really easy to see how imaginary and real numbers interact. Mathematicians call this the complex plane. Here, any point that doesn't fall on the x or y axis is a complex number, a combination of a real and imaginary number. But again, these numbers aren't real. How can we actually use them? Let's head over to the world of physics. In 1926, Erwin Schrödinger was trying to figure out how particles interact with each other, and he came up with the Schrödinger equation. This equation explains how all the matter in the universe behaves, and what do you know, right there at the start is our little I. Schrödinger himself even showed concern for this, but this equation works, and it's all thanks to this number. From mathematical whimsy to the secrets of the universe, it seems like imaginary really isn't the right name for this number. What do you think?